What is up, YouTube? I want to make this video explaining what happened at work yesterday, all right? So I work at a country club, and there are a variety of ages that are at the place, right? And this one girl, I think she's like 23, 24. So she's a little bit older than me. And she's working at this nursing home. She wants to do like this. She wants to go into the medical field over there on the nursing side. And she was telling me how, like, her boss really isn't a good example of how to be nice to, like, people, right? She's sure that, like, the business side and everything like that, he's a great boss and management, but at least from, like, person-to-person communication or just, like, being patient and all that, she swears that he has no patience, nothing like that. And what I realized was, like, when she was telling me all this, it was kind of a reflection of how she is. And now why I say that is because there are times where I myself catch her getting impatient or catch her getting pissed off. And then this isn't me pointing fingers. I know I have my own times where I get patient or I'm impatient, where I get pissed off. But I'm just noticing, I'm not judging her. I'm not telling her like, hey, you're just reflecting, all right? No, or you're just projecting. But I'm looking at her, and I noticed that a lot of people do this. Like, they don't like something about somebody, and they just pick at that one thing over and over and over again. But that one thing is a reflection of who they are inside, and there's times where she's impatient. I just said that, obviously. And, she goes through a lot. She works 2 jobs. She has a lot of things to do, and she's sometimes working doubles, and, sometimes people get on her nerves because they're not doing work. And so she likes to make little comments and stuff like that. And during those times, like, people may look at her and not understand her, but also she doesn't understand other people. And it's just a never-ending cycle. Now, me, I, of course, understand where she's coming from. I understand where the boss is coming from. Even though I don't know who that guy is, I understand that, hey, he must be going through a lot. It's just the best way he thinks is to react, to solve a situation. I'm not going to judge him for it. But it kind of helps me realize that, like, despite what people may throw at us, it really is a reflection of how they feel about themselves inside, or how they feel inside. And whether or not they're conscious or unconscious to it, we must remain understanding. We must remain, it is what it is. Because if we start picking out what they're doing is right and what we're doing is wrong, or vice versa, what they're doing is wrong and we're doing is right, then we'll never find a compromise, because we'll always try to back our own biases. We'll always try to back our own claims. And it'll just stir up so much conflict. I was able to just tell her a little bit. I didn't, go full in detail. Tell her, like, you probably just feel about the same way about yourself, or that other people here look at you the same way, saying that you're not patient, that you get pissed off pretty easily, Didn't say all that, but I told her, like, if you want to impact someone's life, obviously, she even said she can't just tell them. I'm just like, just lead by example, and I'm sure maybe you fall into those same things where you feel impatient and you get pissed off. Just lead by example. Now, will it help her 100%? I don't know. What I do know is maybe a seed planted, and maybe she comes back to that conversation eventually, and it helps. But the main message of this is that if you really don't like somebody, you don't like what they do, you don't like how they act, you gotta try to take a step back and maybe stop reacting. I'm trying to rhyme on accident. But you gotta stop, like, picking at the one thing that they're good at, and the one thing that they're bad at, and trying to make yourself feel better, That's what it's all about. The whole back and forth between I'm right, you're wrong, I'm better, I know what's best, and yada, yada, yada. Because, if we're put in the same situation as the person we're judging, then maybe we'll react even worse, quote unquote. But yeah, I wanted to share this. Maybe you guys, have something against your boss or coworkers, maybe even yourself. Learn to just forgive. Learn to understand. Learn to stop holding grudges, because the less grudges you can hold on other people, the less grudges you're holding against yourself, and there'll just be a lot less shame in here. There'll be a lot more understanding. And you might be looking at me like I can't be this type of pacifist sort of person, just trying to spread peace. But it's not even for other people. It's for yourself. And so you won't live in a world full of strife, full of just not being able to live life to the fullest of its capabilities. It's always going to be understanding. It's always going to be, hey, how can I learn from this? How can I help? And, you learn every single day. But getting rid of that dualistic point of view of right or wrong, good or bad, I'm better, you're worse, those dualistic things. It allows you just to sit back and accept what is. And what is will always be, because that's all we have right now, right here. So yeah, I hope this helps. Maybe you are someone who's dealing with the same type of problems. Maybe step back, forgive, accept, and God bless. My bad, I was looking at mine. I think I chopped off a little bit too much. God bless.